once again, the last 5 games as games that could have given 3 points to the winning teams. Both France and Portugal have 13 out of 15 points, which is pretty impressive. France look overall very complete in every sector. Maybe they can improve in the defense a little bit, but they've got a very good midfield. They've got a very good attack. They've already claimed 1 trophy and 1 European Championship final pretty much with this team. I think they're the number 1 title contenders.
Yeah, well, the thing with France is the strength in depth as well. Like, you look at the squad that was called up this time, there was no space for, okay, I'm a bit biased, but there's no space for Lacazette, right? No space for Sissoko at Spurs, Umtiti for Barcelona, and Ndombele at Spurs. Like, they have so much strength in depth. You could argue that they have 3 players, 4 players for every position that could do a job on the international stage. I think it's hard to look past them, really. Yeah, like you said, their attack is incredible, and their, in quotes, worst striker, Giroud, just became their 2nd all-time top goal scorer. Like, he's apparently the worst one, and he scored more than Platini. Like, I think that sums up the strength that they have in their squad at the moment.
Absolutely. France are the team to beat. Number 2, Portugal, 13 points out of 15. If we consider the last 5 games that they've played, 4 wins and 1 draw, exactly like France. And the 1 draw was against France. A nil draw. Portugal or Wolverhampton, who are we talking about?
Well, yeah, it can be easy to get confused. I think Portugal's problem historically, even when they had like the likes of Rui Costa, that squad like with Figo, what they lacked was a striker. I think it was always Nuno Gomes who was up front, who was always just very average or yeah.
Do you remember Eder just coming in, scoring?
He won them the cup, right?
Yeah, he won them the cup. Yeah.
Or they had Helder Postiga, right? They've never had that kind of
Postiga, right? That's good. That's a good name for our
Spurs
quiz,
fans.
Right?
Do you remember him? Right.
Yeah.
So they never had that striker, but in the current system, they've now got, obviously, Ronaldo as the main focal point up front, but with Jota and João Felix either side, that is a very, very strong attacking lineup. And with Jota moving to Liverpool, I think he is only going to improve. Yeah. So I think, for Portugal, their attack is incredible, and also their defence. Okay, now, yes, they still have Jose Fonte in the centre of defence sometimes, but they have Pepe, okay, and the guy's old, right? And everyone knows he loves a fight, but he is actually a very, very, very good defender. And I think him, alongside Diaz from Man City, I think that's a very strong partnership, right? And for Diaz to learn from someone like him, as long as he learns not to attack people, I think it could be very good lessons for him. So I think their defense looks good as well. And then
if he learns how to sit, stay, no, at that point, he can win Portugal the tournament, right?
And then the midfield as well. They've got Moutinho, Carvalho, Guerrero from Dortmund, Fernandes, Neves. Like, it's just a strong team everywhere.
Did you mention Cristiano Ronaldo? Yeah.
And Ronaldo, of course. Yeah. It goes without saying.
Yeah. And then the other team that has quite impressed us was Belgium, despite 1 loss in the last 5 games against England.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, Belgium looks overall like a very solid team, except in defense.
Yeah, I think the defense, they're getting on a bit with Vertonghen and Alderweireld when they play. When I did see the lineup against England, I was surprised at some of the names like Jason Denayer, and I was like, oh, actually, it doesn't seem as strong as a few years ago. But then you look at the tournaments a few years ago, 2016, under Mark Wilmots, they lost to Wales, of course. And then in the World Cup, they very nearly went out to Japan, right?
Yeah, correct. So the dark horse that this time could do something, we will see. Hazard should be back, will be back with De Bruyne and Lukaku. I can see a few assists and a lot of goals in there.
Yeah, I think Belgium have been the dark horse for the past 5 years. So let's have another one.
It's finally time to do something. Germany, quite a strange young team for a powerhouse like Germany. 2 wins and 3 draws in their last 5 games. 3 draws is quite a bit. They conceded 3 against Switzerland, and they won 2-1 against Ukraine. They tied against Switzerland in the previous game. They tied against Spain. Well, they won against Northern Ireland last year. But that's not the Germany we know. That's not the Germany that won the World Cup. That's not the powerhouse that we're used to be seeing.
No, exactly. And they went 2-0 down to Switzerland as well. It took a while for them to wake up. Okay, Switzerland are always a team that have the potential to upset teams.
And among the other big names that have really unimpressed us are the Netherlands and Spain. Spain, we should have an episode on how this downfall happened. It feels like there is not a generation that they can take over the legacy that Spain has left behind. I don't know if I worded it correctly.
No, well, exactly. These things are cyclical, right? Yeah. And I think sometimes you get a good generation, sometimes you don't get as good a generation. I think obviously Ansu Fati has got the weight of the world on his shoulders now, I think. But with the Netherlands, they've got your favourite guy, Frank de Boer, in charge, right? How long did he last at Inter?
A few weeks, I believe. And everybody hated him. Even the kit manager was just like, I fucking despise the guy, you know?
And at Palace, I think it was 5 games, no goals, 5 defeats. I don't know why they've appointed him. And that Holland squad, apart from Van Dijk in defence, looks flimsy.
But if there is one team that I like in Europe outside of Italy, of course, if there is one kit that I love outside of the Italy kit, that's the Netherlands. So guys, I'm really hoping that you step it up, De Boer, do your best.
Come on, do your best, man.
And I hope really that next year you can do something at the tournament. Except against Italy, maybe if we play against each other, just lose the game and let us go through.
I'm pretty sure you'll beat him.
But yeah, before we move on to the quiz, very quickly, which are the biggest fixtures of the weekend, Rory?
So we have Derby Central in the Premier League. We have West Ham against Tottenham. We have City against Arsenal. Then we have
What kind of derby is Arsenal against?
Well, it's not Derby, but it's a big game, I suppose. Then we have the big one, Everton versus Liverpool, with Everton at the top of the league, right?
That's exciting.
This is going to be a spicy one, I think.
Let's go Toffees.
And then we have the weirdest derby in the UK, Crystal Palace versus Brighton. Despite being 60 kilometres away from each other, these teams absolutely fucking hate each other. So it's usually a spicy affair. Obviously no fans this time, so it'll be interesting to see if it still has the same intensity. But it's a game I always enjoy watching. Lots of big games, and Manchester United have got a big test against Newcastle away. They've not got a good record recently at St James's Park. Ollie really needs a win. Maguire is in free fall. I'm sorry, we're kind of hating on Maguire this episode, but yeah, it's going to be as always an exciting weekend in the Prem. I know you're hyped for this weekend, Tommy.
At 3 p.m. Italian time on Saturday, Napoli face Atalanta. They're gonna take the field this time. They're gonna play. They're gonna play the game. At 6 p.m. A very strange derby. Inter Milan against AC Milan. I say strange because we've got a few positive players, positive to COVID. So we will see how. I mean, all of our defense pretty much. Skriniar and Bastoni and Ashley Young. They all have COVID. Yeah.
Of course, Ashley Young. I picked him up in fantasy, and now he's out straight away.
Yeah. And then another game that could be interesting, always on Saturday at the same time as the derby, Sampdoria against Lazio. Usually, it's a pretty good game, and it could be a bit of a goal fest. Nice. But now it's time to test Rory's footballing knowledge, because I'm gonna quiz him on a player that I'm pretty sure he will guess, but I will give him strange hints about it.
I'm confident. I'll do it. Come on.
Yeah, you don't look
I'm going to back
though.
myself.
Let's go with the quiz. And it's my turn to test Rory's and yours footballing knowledge. Rory, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Listener, are you ready?
They're ready.
What do you know about that? Maybe they're not ready. Maybe they're sitting on the toilet. They're not ready for it. Okay, the mysterious player of the week is a man who goes by the name of, well, you have to guess that one.
Oh.
Burn. So he was born in Rome in 1987.
Oh, 87. So he's 2 years older than myself.
Okay. So how old is he?
25? No, wait. 33? Yeah.
Exactly. He's 33 years old. So he was born in Rome. He's 33 years old. He started his professional career at Ternana, which is a team from southern Italy, from the city of Terni. And then he moved to Udinese, where he played only 3 games in the Serie A, before moving to Livorno. And then to Juventus.
Udine, Livorno, and Juventus, okay.
And then he moved to Parma.
Okay.
And then he moved to Cesena. And in Cesena, he was playing with Giaccherini, Eder, and Parolo.
Was Cesena in Serie A at one point?
I don't think they were back then. This was in 2011, 2012. But he did play alongside Giaccherini, Eder, and Parolo. And then, after 2012, he's played for 3 more clubs in Italy. But I'm not going to tell you which clubs, because it would make it too easy on you.
So Juventus and Parma weren't like his heyday, no?
His heyday came after Cesena.
I've got literally no idea. I don't know.
Well, you've got
like Italian players from different cities. I don't know.
Oh, Ruairi. Ooh. Okay, his last call-up for the Italy team was in 2018. He had 54 appearances from 2009 to 2018 with Italy, in which he scored 7 goals.
Okay.
Boo, I'm Ruairi. I don't have enough hints. I'm never going to guess it. Boo.
I don't know.
All right, I repeat. He was born in Rome in 1987, so he's 33 years old.
Right.
He started his professional career at Ternana, then he moved to Udinese, where he played only 3 games, and then he went on loan to Livorno, Juventus, Parma, and Cesena, where he played alongside Giaccherini, Eder, and Parolo. He's got 54 caps for Italy. His last call-up was in 2018, and he scored a grand total of 7 goals for the Azzurri.
Okay.
You've got 3 questions. You can ask...
no, that's at the end, right?
Well, ask one right now.
Okay. Is he still playing?
Yeah, he is still playing.
He's still playing. Okay, I think that's... Obviously, I don't know yet, but I feel like that was at least a good question.
Okay. A hint, after this spell, like this loan spell from Udinese to Livorno, Juventus, Parma, and Cesena, he's played for 2 big Italian teams.
Okay.
And the first team of these 2 that he transferred to, that's where he really made his name.
Okay.
All right?
Listeners, I hope you've got more of a clue than I have right now, because I'm just trying to pray that I pluck it out the air.
All right, I'll just
we'll
say
see what I got. No.
No.
You know what? We'll move on, because I don't want it to be too easy. We'll move on, and let's go, right?
So we're moving on right now to the weekly topic. I feel like I've done a shit job with the hints this time. Yes.
Well, anyway, let's go. Right, come on.
I feel like Italian listeners will guess it. But okay, we're moving on to our weekly topic. This time we're going to talk about...
the future of football.
Is it grim? Is it shiny?
Let's find out.
Let's find out in about 3 seconds. And then, after our weekly topic, the answer to the quiz.
I can't wait. Okay, listeners, so it is time to talk about our views on the future of football and where we think it is going. So this week, I'm sure you've all read that, a terrible name, but Project Big Picture.
What is with England and their projects? You listed a few before.
Yeah, we've had Project Big Picture, we've had Project Restart, and Project Moonshot, which is my favourite, which was the government, which is just basically Project Hit and Hope. I don't know.
What is Project... Okay, I don't know, this is not the focus, but what is Project Moonshot?
I think it was their tactic to tackle coronavirus, which has gone, as we know, incredibly well. So
well, that's what happens when you shoot at the moon, right?
So we're going to focus on Project Big Picture for today.
What is it, Rory?
So it is a proposal that has been made by John W. Henry, or mainly by John W. Henry and Joel Glazer, who are the owners of Liverpool and Manchester United. Now, they have put a proposal forward to, in a very philanthropic way, save English football, right? They're the saviours we need.
So all of a sudden, Liverpool and Man U really care about English football, all levels of English football, from non-leagues to the Premier League.
Exactly. They really care about what happens to Leyton Orient.
Sounds fishy to me.
Yeah.
But let's keep going.
So this has been backed by Rick Parry, who is the EFL chairman. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like Tottenham are starting to kind of favour the move as well. Bruce Buck, which is the most American name I've ever heard, from Chelsea, has apparently been involved in writing it as well, and the chairman of the FA, Greg Clark. So there's a lot of people here that have kind of involved in it, and apparently it's been worked on since 2017. So it's been in the works for a while.
So before we start, Rory, I don't know that much about English football for what concerns organization. What is the FA? What is the EFL? What is the Premier League?
Okay, so the Premier League separated from the Football League when the Premier League was founded in 93. So the Premier League is its own entity, right? They look after themselves.
All right.
The EFL